Welcome to the second annual homecoming event of South High School. Is it good to be here? Yeah. You know, last year I stood up here and y'all ought to come up here later on and take a look. This is one fine auditorium. It's just a gem of Grand Rapids, and I personally am pleased that it's still here. Mike and Jerry went fishing a couple of weeks ago too, and they hadn't been fishing for a long time, but they went fishing and they got to the stream, and one went upstream and the other one went downstream. And they said, okay, in an hour we'll come back together and we'll meet. So they got back together, and Mike said to Jerry, Mike, you know, I didn't do very well. I just didn't do very well. He said, Jerry, if I can guess how many fish you caught, could I have one? And Jerry said, well, if you can guess how many fish I caught, you can have both of them. So that's our age group, folks. That's where we are. Anyway, we're just tickled pink that you are here, many of you from last year. How many were here last year? How many are new? I love it, I love it. We're going to have a little tour. The gymnasium area, I understand, is open and has been finished. Is that correct, Jeff? Yep. You can see Churm Hall and envision the way it used to be, and you can say, oh, look at that. Coach Murphy, would you come up to the stage, please?
I wanted to speak a little bit about how wonderful it is that South stays alive. This summer in the Grand Rapids Press, there was an article that said, farewell to the school, and then the subtitle said, 1999 graduate, Creston High School, says, we're leaving and we are extinct. Now that means non-existence. This summer alone, I thought about the reunions. When you think about Marge and her donut shop and a meal once a month and the South memorabilia, South is very much alive and they don't know the word extinct. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure for me to introduce my co-host here, Ken Cook, who's going to introduce some of our presenters.
Chairman of South High School Varsity Club, Jim Atkinson.
Today is about the spirit of South High School, no question about that. The spirit of South High School lives in this whole building, lives in all of our hearts, and all of the people that attended South High School have some feeling for South High School. The South High Varsity Club has been in existence for 26 years. If you ever got a major S award for any sport at South High School, then you are eligible for an invitation to the Varsity Club reunion, which is the first Thursday after Labor Day every year. Second thing I'm going to talk about is the Grand Rapids Community College Foundation South High School Scholarship number 278. In 1995, 3 members of the varsity club decided the spirit of South High needed even more notoriety, even to do something else for South High School. They got together. Carol Streeter was a class of 39, Jim Tabor, class of 45, Betty Tabor, class of 47. That was Betty DiStefano at that time. They started raising funds. They sent out mailings. They raised monies. So the South High Scholarship Committee went to the public high schools in the city. There were 5 at that time. And said to the counselors, we'd like to know of students you have in this school that maybe C students, C average students, but that you know would like to go to college, but just don't have the resources to do that. And that's the student that we want to send with the South High Scholarship Fund. And that's what they've done. We've sent about 32 students through Grand Rapids Community College so far. The spirit of South High will live on forever in our hearts, in that foundation, in this school, in the Gerald R. Ford Job Corps.
Frank Russo.
Thank you very much, Ken. This year we've decided to start something called the South High Spirit Award. And the first recipients of this award are Jim and Betty Tabor, class of 45 and 47, Marge Wilson, class of 57, and Debbie Jones, class of 68. This plaque will go in the memorabilia room, the South High memorabilia room, to start out the collection of memorabilia that'll go in that room.
I would like to introduce the person who is the director of the Job Corps Center, the Gerald R. Ford Job Corps Center here. His name is Jeff Jablonski.
My name is Jeff Jablonski, and I am the Center Director of the Gerald R. Ford Job Corps Center. And our center is excited and happy to welcome all of you home to your high school building. For those of you who may not be familiar with our program here, Job Corps is the United States Department of Labor Residential Educational Career Technical Training Program for youth ages 16 to 24. There are currently 125 Job Corps centers across the United States. Job Corps first moved into this building, South High, in 1982. It has been educating and training young adults here ever since then. We have roughly 200 students who live here and train here year-round to become more employable. Our goal is to help young adults gain skills and employment opportunities that will allow them to transition into the middle class. And so without further ado, I'd like to introduce Ms. Gretchen Lahair, Business Community Liaison.
And one of the things I wanted to share with you this afternoon is that there's a small office area that's right outside of my office here in the building that we have decided to dedicate to South High memorabilia. And so what I would like to do as time goes on is collect things from you guys, or from maybe the Ford Museum, or anybody in the community that has South High artifacts, whether it's pictures, yearbooks, anything that is South High related. We'd like to be able to display it in that showcase room, as we're going to call it. And with that, as we receive visitors on center, I'd be happy to show them that room. The same if we have South High alumni visiting, they're welcome to see that room as well. So if you have anything that you would like to donate to us, please feel free to find me or to contact me. We'd love to have it. It will be kept in a safe place, and it will just allow the legacy of South High to live on in this building.
I'd like to introduce Michael B. Johnson and the group Background Singers, and I think we need to stand.
Of South High School, we sing to you, South